All right, folks. So this is about a video is about an exciting AI tool. It's called ChatGPT. You might have heard of it if you're here searching and looking for it. You might probably have, but I'm going to show you today why, in my opinion, it is a game changer. In front of us, technology is going to change how we create content, how we find out information on the internet, far beyond what search engines have been able to do in the past for us. So you can just type in ChatGPT in a search engine, and this is what's so beautiful about it, is all you have to do is click ChatGPT here and it's ready to go. They give you some examples up here, but I'm going to show you a couple of the things that I just put into it to test it real quick. So since we're talking about technologies, I'm saying, hey, write me an article on essential technologies to learn. And when I hit enter, this AI tool literally writes this article for me on technologies that are essential to learn. And you see here what it's telling us: programming languages, web development, mobile development, data management and analysis, and cloud computing. Now, this list might not be, what everyone would expect. And you can see actually it keeps going here: DevOps, cybersecurity, and then it has a conclusion for you as well. This right here would normally take you, even people that know this information would come up with this, minutes to come up with a list like this and as concise as this. But for most people, it'd take an hour or more, a couple of hours to write an article like this. And here we have a succinct article about it. But here's some of the other things is you can be really specific. Like I can say, write me the top 10 reasons to learn technology rather than what the technology is. And you'll see that it's going to completely rewrite this, but from the perspective of why you should learn technology. And it's going to give us exactly 10. If I don't like what it writes, I can hit regenerate. And of course, we all have the options to then add our own, rewrite a sentence and massage it, so to speak, into what we want and it to say from our own perspective. So if I don't think that some of these things matter, but I'm going to tell you what, when you look through this list, is there anything here? Personal growth, creative expression, solving problems, staying competitive, improve marketability. This is a top 10 list of reasons to learn technology that even people that are in technology would spend time to make, and it's really solid. There's nothing wrong with any of these top 10 reasons to learn technology. I can hit regenerate responses, and notice how it's completely different. Increase your employability. Yeah, it's kind of saying the same thing, but it's putting them in completely different words, complete different orders, and it's changing even it's pulling in other things. So this AI is very flexible. Let's just something whimsical that I came up with. Write an article on why you should hire me to be your butler. As a highly skilled and experienced virtual assistant, I believe I would make an excellent addition to your team as a butler. Here are just a few reasons why. I'm reliable and dependable. I'm adaptable and flexible. I'm professional and courteous. I have excellent communication skills. I'm highly organized. I have a strong work ethic. Along with all these sentences. Now, I'm a fast learner. Now, sure, it can come off a bit canned, but here's the thing. If you think of this as a starting point, a way to generate creative ideas and to brainstorm, you can see how it's almost invaluable, and how adaptable it is to the specific things you're asking it to write your content for. It's just not about the knowledge, it's about the way this AI system can write things in such a way to present your information the way you want it to be presented. So for example, write me a cover letter on why I'm the best C# developer. And notice, dear employer, I'm writing to express my strong interest in the C-Sharp developer position at your company. My extensive experience in C-Sharp development and my passion for creative, innovative software solutions, I believe I am the best candidate for this role. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. When you read through this, it maybe not be perfect, but you can imagine in a world of the starting from scratch and from a blank slate, and you don't have any, and you're trying to come up with ideas, that a tool like this in your hands is going to change the way you can create content. And as an entrepreneur, a person that's made a lot of courses and videos and helped people, this to be honest to me is both exciting, but it's also a little bit scary in terms of, I think, a future in which it's really going to be difficult, I think, for us as individuals maybe to add value without these tools. And with these tools like this, I'm telling you, it's going to be hard to distinguish between whether you're really talking with a real person, getting writing from a real person, and work product from a real person. So there's a lot to this. Let's just look at a few more examples that are just not career oriented. How about this? Write a love letter to my girlfriend. From the moment I met you, I knew that you were the one for me. Your kind and compassionate heart, your sparkling personality, and your beautiful smile have captured my heart and soul. Every day with you is a blessing and a joy. You bring so much light and love into my life, and I'm grateful for every moment we spend together. Whether we're cuddled up on the couch, exploring new places, or simply enjoying each other's company, I feel so lucky to have you by my side. You are my rock, my support, and my best friend. I'm just so grateful to have you in my life, and I'm blessed to call you my girlfriend. I love you more and more every day, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for us. Forever yours. I think you can see the power here is almost staggering to comprehend, that we're on a precipice of where it would take even a skilled writer perhaps, 45 minutes to an hour to come up with maybe something like that. And maybe I'm from a writer's perspective, and because I do write myself, I have to write all my content and my video scripts and my course scripts and the books I've written. I've been more of a technical writer, but it takes time to structure outlines and come up with this kind of content as a starting point, so you're not starting from scratch. There might be a lot of opportunities to improve this, but Hallmark would probably have paid people a lot of money that could come up with content like this, with maybe 4 or 5 things like this a day. I would imagine. I just can't imagine what the time it would take to make something like this. And so, on the same kind of theme, I said, let's write a poem about our time at the beach together. Our time at the beach was a dream come true, the sand between our toes and the waves crashing too. We built sand castles and chased each other round. We laughed and we played, and the joy could be found. The sun shone down on our happy faces as we walked hand in hand in our special places. We watched the sunset as the day came into an end, and I knew in my heart that this was where I wanted to spend. Our time at the beach was a memory to hold, and I can't wait to have stories to be told. All right, so I was editing the video, and after I'd read this poem in my head and heard myself read it, I wanted to use an example how I could take this poem and like really change it to where I think it would have a lot more heart for me and kind of say what I would want to say, and like a turn of a phrase. And so my example would be, this part where it says, "We watched the sunset as the day came to an end, and I knew in my heart I had such a friend." And that change right there is actually from a Seinfeld episode where Jerry didn't get Elaine the right gift, and Kramer had got her the right gift. It was a bench, and had in a poem from I believe it was Yeats, and I when I heard that phrase, I knew in my heart I had such a friend. I think that sounds a lot better to me than this was where I wanted to spend. And so I wanted to kind of give that example of how you could have something that this AI creates, and with your own creativity and what you've like experienced in your life, turn it into something that maybe actually does elevate it to the point of where people would go, that is solid. And I'd like you to maybe leave a comment down below and let me know what you think, or if maybe there would be something else you might change, and if that would be like make this poem better, or if you like the way the AI did it. But I wanted to put that edit in because I think that's what this tool is about, is not just having the AI create something and put it out there, especially if it's poetry. Use it as a starting point to help you make something of your own out. I'm going to be honest that every time I use this tool, I'm in awe and in shock, and I think to myself, I can use this. This is an amazingly powerful thing that I can almost literally just create books and stories, and I can create things that I never would have ever been able to make possible. But am I really making it? I mean, I didn't write that poem. I had the idea for it. I had the idea of a poem for our time at the beach together. But what would it take for someone in the 8th grade to write that? Or someone that's a 5th grader or 6th grader to write this? And that's what's a profound other aspect of these tools, is what does this mean for a world of particularly younger people that are on their way to learning, and instead of having to write a 300-word essay, they can go on the internet and have a tool that writes it for them. And people can say, well, they have plagiarizing tools, to check to see if it's plagiarized. That's going to be tough, because these poems, like this poem that just read, can be put through a plagiarizing tool real easily by the AI itself, theoretically. So it would know when it generates the poem if that poem flags as being like and exactly like plagiarizing someone else's poem. So we get into this cat and mouse game of creativity and whose original content, and that what parts of this are actually generated by the AI, and what parts of it are direct phrases that have been lifted from someone else's prose, I don't know. In other words, this source material came from somewhere. But the question is, how do I quantify that? Another fun one I thought I would try is write me a shocking murder mystery. I won't read the whole thing on here. You can stop if you want. But this is remarkably crazy, simple. It's not very long. But, it was a dark and stormy night, and the air was thick with tension. Detective John Smith, yeah, that's a really creative name there, but has been called to the scene of a gruesome murder at the old, decrepit mansion on the outskirts of town. Now, so I can say then, this is not going to win a prize for best writing. How about write a travel guide for Chicago? And here you go. And telling you, start with a trip, the visit to the Loop, stroll down the Magnificent Mile. Got the Sky Deck. Yeah, so Millennium Park, Wrigley Field. Yeah, so it's literally something that, usually people would pay a lot of money to have content written like this for them, and writers. So if I think like a lot of things that this tool in the hands of people that are already accomplished is going to and are really good at writing and editing, publishing, like publishers, this is going to accelerate that so much. It's going to allow for a lot of iterations of ideas. Let's do a fun sports one. Write an article on the top 3 best pitchers of all time. So now, notice I never mentioned baseball, but the idea, the AI said, 3 best pitchers. When it comes to baseball, the pitcher is often the most important player in the field. And here we go. Sandy Koufax, Nolan Ryan, and Pedro Martinez. Cy Young winners. Cy Young, this is the kind of tool that will astound, and I am bringing it to you. I hope that you hit that like, you hit that subscribe button. With tools like this, we're going to need it more than ever, because here's the thing: people in any country, in any school, in any workshop, anywhere in the world can be leveraging this tool. You don't have to go to college, go study. You don't have to go get a 4-year degree. You don't have to even finish high school or junior high before you can start using something like this to build up an audience of people that would relate to your content. So some of my advice from an entrepreneur, and why my channel is going to probably start taking some different directions because of tools like this, because it's the handwriting on the wall, guys. I'm telling you that what I would say my tips would be is to pick a niche you really, really love, things you really like to do. Use this tool to create content and get it out. Like literally let it build an article for you on the subject you're interested in. Turn on the recorder, create your channel, and put out your first video, and then at least try to get one video a week out. It's harder than people think it is, and that's why there's only a handfuls of people that start YouTube channels usually are successful. I'm talking to you on a channel that has over 12,000 people in it, but you can also look that it's been months since I've posted, largely because there's easier ways for me to generate income with other courses, consulting, selling digital products and other things, and creating YouTube videos until I get greater masses of audience. This is that game changer for me. This is my kind of coming out as saying this will be a tool I can use to become a content creator on YouTube and grow my audience, hoping that you click the right like and subscribe button, and being able to generate many, many, many more videos on topics that I think are important, so I can pick information I think that's really valuable, things that have helped me in my life, all kinds of things that are really have been important to me. Like I like lucid dreaming. I think it's great for creativity. I've chased it, and I'd love to write articles on it, but all that takes time. I can come up here now and say, write an article on lucid dreaming, and I have a script right now that I can read off, post on my channel, and start sharing it with people, my experiences with people, and use it as like a foundation, so that when I actually start doing videos on a given topic, that I can give my audience a strong starting point, and then add my own personal experiences and tips and tricks and that secret sauce that I think people will always be able to bring to the table, like as an individual, just even the way I talk and express myself, and work more on my delivery, and being exciting to listen to and a fun channel to be on. Because let's face it, we're going to be competing against technology that's just in its infancy here. And to me, this is like the handwriting on the wall that all of us need to probably see, where we can be a part of this kind of technology, because otherwise we're going to turn around and these AI systems like this and things will almost certainly not just have our jobs, but our businesses and our and a lot of things that right now companies are able to make a lot of. There's a lot of money made in conveying information and producing information and reproducing that information, and this now has changed the barrier to entry forever. The barrier to entry to creation is now in the hands of a 6-year-old. Literally can come up and say, I have this idea, and it can sound as crazy as in write a kid's story on ants. And now we have a little kid's story on ants. I think you see where I'm going with this. I got a 20-minute video. If you'd like me to make another one and go through some other ideas I've been having of how to use this tool and would like to learn more or have me help you, please hit that like and subscribe.